All right, let's talk about the Republican Russia love fest that continues to grow day by day. The romance is astounding. We have Tucker Carlson interviewing Uncle Vladdy and talking about how great of a guy he is and how his views on the world are actually exactly what he aligns with. And he believes that Russia's actually trying to help the United States, and we should align ourselves a little bit more with Russia. We've got Tommy Tuberville. If we remember this gem of a human being, Tommy Tuberville was the guy that was, since day one of the Biden administration, holding up every single military appointment across the board, hundreds and hundreds of them, like key military positions that it's hard to operate the military without these people in place. Well, this guy that's been holding all them up is now saying that Vladimir Putin is on top of his game. And after freezing the military promotions for years, he's talking about how Putin should actually get what he wants. Donald J. Trump on record recently talking how Russia has his permission and he encourages Vladimir Putin to attack any NATO ally that isn't paying their fair share or paying what Donald J. Trump says, dictates, commands is what they should be paying. And if they don't meet Donald J. Trump's gold standard, he wants Uncle Vladdy to bomb the hell out of him. Do what you will. At the same time, we have the Ukraine funding that was held up again. Ukraine that has needed our help since the beginning. Ukraine, the same country that Donald J. Trump withheld funding from back at the time when he was asking for that perfect phone call looking for dirt on Joe Biden, and he couldn't get it from Zelensky, so he canceled all the military aid way back when, before the invasion. This has always been part of the plot. The Ukraine-Russian invasion was something that was on the books before Trump even took office. There is no doubt about it. There are too many tie-ins on this. The problem with right now is Ukraine desperately needs our help, and so does Taiwan. Taiwan needs protection from China and Beijing. Now, China and Beijing are watching how we're basically not supporting Ukraine because of political infighting, and they're setting their sights on Taiwan. If Ukraine falls, Poland is next. Vladimir Putin already said so. So you've got our ex-president in bed in every way, shape, or form with Vladimir Putin and all of his oligarch buddies. You've got Tommy Tuberville and many other people on the Republican side praising Vladimir Putin as Putin talks about taking back Alaska, helping Texas secede from the United States. Vladimir Putin is interjecting himself in Texas and their crazy notion that they're going to secede from the United States. Russia's involved in all this. Russia funded Iran, Hamas, to attack Israel. We need to pay attention to all this stuff because these blue dots that are getting connected, they all mean something, and there is a reason behind where all of a sudden funding out of nowhere was cut off 2 years ago and no one knew why. Well, now we know why. It was all part of the plan. These are the people that are in office on the Republican side of the aisle. I don't care how Republican you are. If you are giving any craps about this country and you're open-minded enough to look into this stuff and leave yourself open to being taught something new. Because I could guarantee you, if you are still backing Republicans down ticket, you don't see the whole picture and you're not bothering to look. Well, here's the thing. We can't make a mistake on this next election. Neither of us can. We need to work together. And the things that we disagree on, we need to work on. It's as easy as that. The things that we're pissed off about this government about on both sides of the aisle, chances are I'm pissed off about it too. The people that you're yelling at on TikTok or on Facebook or whatever that you're chastising because they're libtards or whatever the hell, they're probably pissed about the gas prices too, the cost of groceries too. They probably want almost the exact same things fixed. They just may have a different reason on how. But we are all in the same boat, and we agree more than we disagree, and we need to stop putting this anger and vitriol in front of everything else and making politics the main point of every discussion rather than purpose being the main point of every discussion. If purpose was the main point of every discussion, we would be solving problems, not creating them just because we're on opposite sides of the aisle. When are we going to pull our heads out of our asses and recognize that? We agree on, I'd say, 3/4 of everything when you boil it down. And what we don't agree on, we can argue about that. That's what Congress, that's what senators are supposed to argue about. But the stuff we agree on, like border security and cheaper pharmaceutical prices and cheaper gas, we should all be behind that 100%, no matter who's in office, period. End of discussion. But to have people like Tucker Carlson and Tommy Tuberville that purposely tried to cripple this military and now is cozying up to Putin. And then Donald J. Trump himself, who is always cozied up to Putin. We're just learning how much he cozies up to the Crown Prince. Freaking Little Kim. We're just learning all that. But all that's in play too. If you don't think China's not watching very, very carefully how we basically screw over Ukraine, you don't think that makes them tempted to attack Taiwan? That's all in play. That's part of their plans. NATO, the United States, was the big dog in keeping that peace. And now the world thinks the United States can't fit that bill anymore. And that is 100% because of Donald J. Trump. That's just a fact. If you want to argue with me, great. Research, then come up and talk to me. But if you don't research, shut the hell up. Because it's true. We need to keep this all in mind. Because there are reasons why stuff's done years and years ago. And it doesn't make sense when it happens. And when years go by and something like right now happens, a lot of people won't go back to that and go, oh yeah, that's part of this. Yeah, that makes sense. But that's what we need to do. Because that will spell out the truth from start to finish. So, ladies and gentlemen, we need to be diligent. We need to stay educated. We need to be kind to each other. So let's start there. And then we could all get together and get these people out of office and replace them with another type of asshole that you want in the office, or a Democrat, whatever you want. But enough of this stuff. Because we are about to all lose the country we all love. Just think a little bit, that's all.